Hey, how's it going, everyone? Liam here. Today we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, meditation, and how even just taking 5 minutes out of your day to practice this can change your life profoundly. All of the things I'll be talking about today are fully backed by science, and there's a lot of evidence behind these benefits that I'll be talking about. And a lot of people seem to still think that meditation is all magical, spiritual, and woohoo, that kind of thing. But really, meditation has been documented now, and there's a lot of research into meditation and the benefits behind it. So it is fully backed by the science.
I know where to go.
And meditation can be a spiritual thing for some, but that's not the part that we'll be focusing on today. And all of the things we'll be looking at are completely science-based. For a long time now, people have been studying meditation for spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being, especially in Eastern cultures. But only recently has been popularized in Western cultures as well. And with this growth in popularity came more research into the science behind meditation and how it affects the brain and body. And there are many different kinds of meditation as well, a few of the main ones being spiritual meditation, typically used in Eastern religions such as Hinduism. It's similar to prayer in that you reflect on the silence around you and seek a deeper connection and understanding with God or your universe. Transcendental, probably not pronouncing that right, but transcendental meditation or mantra meditation, which are basically the same thing, is the practice of saying a mantra, word or sound, repeatedly until you transcend thought entirely. Dynamic meditation, which is essentially a form of meditation that involves physical movement or actions. So this can be anything from things like yoga, tai chi, or even something as simple as just taking a walk. But the main type of meditation that we'll be focusing on today is mindfulness meditation. Now, some of the meditation methods that I just mentioned can be done while practicing mindfulness as well, but the most common methods of doing this are either by paying attention to your thoughts as they pass through your mind and simply observing them. The idea here is to not suppress thoughts or not to think at all, as people commonly believe, but you just simply be aware of what you're thinking as it's happening. And another simple way of practicing this is by just focusing on your breathing. So by just simply focusing on your breath and staying focused on that, your mind will run away from you, but the idea is to keep bringing your attention back to that one simple thing, regardless of how many times your mind wanders away. Some of the earliest forms of meditation come from Hinduism, and the Buddha studied these and added his own spin. A new meditation technique called Satipatthana. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, by the way. But this is the traditional form of mindfulness. And the translation of this just simply means attention in sight to keep. That doesn't sound so hard, right? But the problem is, in today's world, is people are not actually aware of what their mind is doing. Their brains are being pulled in all of these different directions. So what we're doing when we're meditating is actually practicing being more aware of what our mind is doing. And this can actually help you understand why you do certain things and why you may feel a certain way. And these common problems that so many people have, such as anxiety, depression, stress, and anger, appreciating that these feelings are passing products of your own mind and understanding that you can control your relationship with them. Basically, meditation can be described as the gym for your brain. So when you go to the gym, you get stronger, your muscles get bigger, you learn how to use them better. It's the same thing when you meditate. You're practicing how to use your mind in a better way and how to control your emotions and not let them control you. And this is something that meditation helped me with a lot, as I used to have a lot of anger issues, especially when I was younger, and meditation basically helped me deal with these problems in a better way. But it doesn't change the external environment. And this is something that no one can control, whether you practice meditation or not. But one thing that has been studied with meditation practitioners is how they receive and experience an external event. An example of this is when studies were done on meditation practitioners versus non-practitioners and the relationship to pain. And it was seen that both groups experienced the same level of pain in fairly similar ways, but how practitioners rated the experience as being far less unpleasant. So meaning that the practitioners could also tolerate higher levels of pain. So it's not about controlling what happens in our lives, but it's more about controlling how we react to what happens in our lives. And that's not to say that if you practice mindfulness, you'll never get angry, anxious, or depressed again, as even dedicated monks that have done this for many, many years still experience these same emotions. The meditation just helps you develop a deeper understanding of these emotions, and once you understand them better, it's a lot easier not to get attached to them and make them your identity, as you realize that these thoughts and emotions that you're feeling will pass. And this could be such an important tool when things go wrong in our lives and we run into these massive problems. In terms of how it helps with these common issues that a lot of people have, like anxiety, for example, it's been studied that a part of the brain that is activated when someone is experiencing anxiety, the default mode network, this is turned down for expert practitioners, which is possibly why meditation helps with anxiety and depression. Other benefits that have been discovered from meditation through research include reduced stress. So this is because meditation can produce a deep state of relaxation and clear your mind of racing thoughts. It also has benefits for health and performance, so including improved immune function, reduced blood pressure, reduced cognitive function, just to name a few. Now you're probably thinking, all of this is well and good, but what does it mean for me? Well, if you've experienced any of these issues, like anxiety, depression, or any of the other things mentioned in this video, then you're doing a disservice to yourself by not trying this just because it may take some time out of your day or some effort. And if meditation does work for you, then awesome. You may have found a better alternative to things like medication, for example, as this could come along with a lot of side effects, which people tend not to want. And this is something that also relates to me, as I used to take medication that was supposed to help me relax and focus, but it never really did that much for me. And I also really didn't like how it felt when I was on them. Studies have also shown that meditation, along with some other cognitive therapies, can almost be equally as effective as these medications for things like anxiety and depression. But again, they don't come with extreme side effects. And if meditation doesn't really work for you, if you have these issues, then at least you know, and at least you've tried. And if you think you're perfectly happy and you don't think it can be improved in any way, then it's cool. I wouldn't worry about it. But if you feel like that you can improve in any way to get the most out of life and live it to the fullest, then I think meditation can be a great way to help you do that. And I know for me personally that it helped me live life to the fullest, as well as just sort of be more present in the moment, which I think is an undervalued thing. And honestly, it's something that I feel people don't actually know how to do. And I definitely didn't. A good analogy I heard someone describe this with was, imagine that you had a very high quality camera and lens, but then someone dropped it in the mud, and then there was dirt and mud all over the lens. Okay, and then they give it to you, someone who doesn't know how to use a camera, has never used a camera before, and you're looking through this lens thinking, wow, the picture looks amazing. It's so clear. But then as you slowly maybe clean off the dirt off the lens, you slowly start to realize, oh, it actually wasn't good at all. And we as people are always kind of like this. We always think that we know what we're doing, and then we learn some more and then look back and think, I didn't actually know a lot. And a lot of you might be thinking that you just won't be able to meditate properly. And I felt the exact same when I first started as well. As being someone with ADHD, and I was always a very active kid, jumping around everywhere, all over the place doing all kinds of things. So the idea to me of just sitting in a room doing nothing and just focusing on my breath was really just seemed impossible to me. Like I could barely focus on anything, let alone just my breath. But over time, this genuinely helped me to calm my mind on a daily basis, as normally I would be bombarded with thousands of thoughts just sort of racing through my head. And I didn't really know how to control my energy levels either. So all of this just sort of left me very frustrated and not really knowing how to deal with my issues. So trust me, if I can do it, you can as well. And it will be harder for some people. It may take longer for you to get to a good point with it, where you can do it properly, but that's okay. Okay, but now where do you go from here to get started? So there's no point learning all of this just to not change anything. So I want you to set yourself a challenge to try and meditate every day for 8 weeks. So many studies have shown that 8 weeks is enough time to start seeing some noticeable changes from meditation. So you can just start with something small, like again, just 5 minutes. And then if you get more comfortable with doing this, you can increase that time and go a little bit longer sometimes if you want. And this really doesn't have to take a lot of your time up. So ideally you would want to be doing this sometimes where you're sort of sitting quietly in a room with nothing else really going on. But you can also sort of do this if you're commuting, for example, if you're on your way to work, if you take the bus or a train or something like that, you can just do it there, as well as you could just do this again, like walking through a park or something, just something sort of kind of peaceful like that. So you can do it while you are doing other things as well. You can also do this multiple times throughout the day. So if you don't have, a big chunk of space, you can sort of just do a little bit of time here and there. So say even just like 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes at night. If you want to try and do this for longer, you can split it up like that. And that's something that also worked very well for me. And if you can do more, it is worth doing. In terms of which methods to do, I would just mix it up and see what you like best. But in terms of helping you sort of stay on track to this challenge, there are many different follow-along guided meditations that you can do, that you can find on YouTube. And as well as there's a lot of great meditation apps out there that you can use that will help as well. So things like Calm and Mindfulness. And I'll have those linked down below as well if you want to check those out. And those are really great tools that you can use just because it keeps you on track. It's a little bit easier than maybe just doing it yourself, as you're being talked through the process the whole time. So there's my challenge to you. Let me know how you get on with your 5 minutes a day and if you found it helpful or not. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave it a like, subscribe if you are new, and let me know what other videos you'd like me to make down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.